Hello everyone, my name is Nopeta and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working on, for right now, the name is just called Hell Jumpers, but the name is currently in flux because generally, I don't really have a good way of approaching it. But what are we actually going to be doing? We're going to see what we can do here. And generally, try to get at least something done with this. I have a few ideas of how to make it work. Ignore that. I have a few ideas on how to make it work, but it's generally going to be a game of how do I get these things to work properly. And let's see. What ideas? Well, we can probably do something like this. Let's start with our like idea what we want to actually do, because overall, what I want this titular game, the Hell Jumpers game, is right now it's kind of in a weird spot. Because right now, it's like, do I want to go sci-fi? Do I want to go modern? Like, how do I want to do this? I think I'm going to stick with sci-fi, science fiction. But generally, I'm going to try to make it I want to word this, a hearty sci-fi, if that makes sense. Not necessarily, like, strictly sci-fi, but a little bit heartier. And kind of taking a little bit, some cues from StarCraft, actually. Not necessarily, here are the Protoss, here are the Zerg, have fun, but a little bit more along the lines of humanity is definitely on the back foot in some regards, so we can use that as kind of like a justification of why things are going on. So, generally speaking, mechanically, like, let's see, mechanically, the resolution is simple and mechanics are a bit deeper. One thing I was thinking about doing is straight off the bat, if we actually take this and move this over here just for my own sanity, is combat. Combat's going to be mostly about, guaranteed action. If I get over, it's mostly about guaranteed action. What does guaranteed action actually mean in terms of what this is? Guaranteed action states is that you, yes, you, are making a decision that is going to occur. There's no chance of saying this isn't going to occur or this, there's no chance. You don't roll, you don't grab your D8 or whatever, you roll and like, oh, I got a 7, it hit. Or I got a 3, it didn't hit. It's saying, I am going to do this. This is what occurs. I want combat to be a lot of that. Mostly because of the sheer number of things that I want people to be fighting individually. So, let's see. Guaranteed action. I'm thinking about an action point system. Specifically a 3 AP system where it's like, move here, shoot something, haul ass back. But make it a little bit more advanced. Like, trigger one of your suit's moves. Trigger this. Move here. Do all this. Activate a system. Shoot a gun, but you can only shoot like one of your guns a thing. Things like that to give people a little bit more umph behind things. I think that would be a good idea. Actually, let's do a little bit looking around. Tabletop RPG action points system. Aurelius, Mithras. Oh, look, everybody, it's Matt Colville. We all love Matt Colville. Clap, clap, clap. Okay, Mithras, give me a rough. Let's see, we got this, our attribute action points. There we go. Character rule grants all character 2 action points. Okay, 17. Let's see. Combat rounds. Are you frantic bursts? Okay, combat. Formation fighting, initiative, actions in combat. You get 2 actions of combat effectively in this game, so you can do engage with multiple opponents, corrupt oppose, evade roll skills. Fail to beat this roll cannot attack him that combat round. So move, mount, thither. Struggle, a victim of a certain type of attack, use power, reactive action. So we have a reactive. So we can have a maybe like an active versus react. Actually, what we can do is we can have an active, defensive, and reactive system. Technically, we can also reference fucking Necronica of all things, which wouldn't be actually the worst idea. Honestly, I might have to reference that one a little bit more than I would plan on. But the idea being that we're standing in a hall. Something is coming toward us, wanting to rip our faces off. First action, we're going to aim. We're going to shoot it. We're going to shoot it with a gun. It's going to be a guaranteed action to say that it's just going. We're going. Actually, no. It wouldn't be a guaranteed action to hit with certain weapons. Others wouldn't be. So let's say it's a guaranteed action. It's just going to hit. We're going to need to now roll our damage. So we're going to take our dice. We're going to say, oh, I'm going to do 7 damage to the thing. Okay, so that's that. That's one action. Second action is I'm going to move back, and I'm going to hold my third action because he might attack me. He attacks me, I'm going to try to parry, or I'm going to try to block or something. There you go. That could work. Actually, I should break guaranteed action into 2, so combat actions are going to be split between guaranteed actions, so this is going to be like certain weapons slash skills, and then uncertain actions, which are going to be bigger weapons or abilities, or what you can call them, tricks. Which brings me to our non-combat section. Do we believe that characters are going to be disposable? That's a first section. First things first. Do we believe characters are disposable? Hello, phone. Hello, phone. So actually, okay. We have to ask ourselves, are characters disposable? And this is going to determine 2 things. If we answer the term is that yes, they are disposable, then we're going to need to have a shorter character creation process, perhaps a bit more random. However, if we answer no, characters can be long. Characters can have a bit more to them, but with a savior mechanic. Pretty much the main thing what we're going to be. Oh God, I made a bad idea. I made a boo boo. I made a boo boo. I hit the unlock all button. I didn't mean to. Miro, why is that an option? Miro, please. So let's see. So the main thing is that we're going to have our power suits, which we're going to give a clever name to them. And if we give them a clever name, that's going to work. And our base, actually, it's going to be more like power armor more than anything. Our power armor is going to be our life. It's going to be more important than arguably our characters in a way. Which we could probably play into the setting a little bit. With the idea that, like, power armor can be tweaked. Tweaked with additional bits and bobs alongside their own set of attributes. Pilots, I don't even know how to call them. We'll call them pilots for now. Pilots can have their own set of tricks and abilities that they can do inside of any power armor. With the idea being a little bit more that you the pilot, you're in your power armor, and it's you being able to do shit. It's you being able to know that if I flick this switch over here and kind of do a second reaction move, I can spin the thing around and clonk someone's head open. And it also allows you to tweak it to give it kind of more unique abilities. Like, you know how to, like, boost dodge, but you may know how to boost dodge with the power armor, but you're gonna need to. Oh, this is new. Oh god, this is new. I don't like this. Nani? Mira, why do you keep throwing things at me like this? You off kilter slightly. Okay, there. So let's see. Maybe give pilots a. So pilot attributes. Maybe let's make it a D10 system. D10 system, dice pool? No. Maybe like, well, okay, let's think about it like this. We as the characters, we as the pilots, we as people piloting these things, what are we going to be doing? We're going to need to be piloting, we're going to be moving around, we're going to have, like, these are going to be our basic attributes that we're going to be working with, because our team of very specialized people who go into places and shoot things that should be dead. Well, we have limited ammunition and limited amounts of stuff. Okay, how about we do... See, if I feel cursed, I'd say let's do a D100 system. Because let's think. Dying of Dryads is going to be using a D8 system now. Before that, God Killing Swords used a diceless system. Before that, we've used a couple of oddball systems. Let's try to do something a little bit unique this time, because we got a unique prospect in front of us. Maybe, let's see, what do we got in front of us right now? So maybe we take a... Okay, like what are we looking for? Like what are we actually looking for? So simple and mechanics a bit deeper. So let's think. So immediate answer is again dice pool system. That's my first immediate answer, but I use a lot of dice pool systems because I like dice pools. But we need to make it a little bit variable. We need to make things a little bit hectic, a little bit odd. And we're using a harder sci-fi setting, so maybe a D100 system. I've never actually done a D100 system, but I did recently read a thing that does prove that you can make a simpler D100 system. Artawuja, to be specific. Maybe we do... See, we could do something simple and just do like a D6 system, like a 3D6. A 3D6 system is probably the easiest for this. But maybe we can use... I don't think a D20 is correct here. That's the thing. I do not believe a D20 is fundamentally correct. For a D20 is a little bit of more focused on a singular roll, as well as we're going to be using that later. Potentially later. So maybe... I'm leaning toward D100 system right now. We're going to need to make it a little bit odd. But I think we could probably do something there. Let's think. Let's look let's peek around my folder. Maybe I can find something interesting in there. Let's do sci-fi games. What do we got? What are we working with here? What would be the most appropriate for this? Because we're going to be inside of a bot. We're effectively going to be inside of something, moving around. We're going to have an action point system. But do we really need something big? Do we need something heavily defined? That's the question. Question 1. Do we need something heavily defined? The answer is I don't know. I always hate it when you can't find what you're looking for. You could see something in your eye. You can see it in your mind's eye. Because Mithras uses... yeah, D100 system. But are we really going to be using dice rolls that often? Are we really going to be using dice rolls all that often? Maybe not, because combat's going to be the main draw of the game. Like, this is going to be the main thing. This kind of 3 action point system with a bunch of little tools and such you can put on there. While this section is how you kind of interact and how you get to things like this. The non-combat is roughly how you get to the combat. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes games are just going to be more focused on certain other things, other times they're not. Like, it really kind of just depends on what the game is going to be. This entire game is built around this. Perhaps like I guess we can go with the D100 system. We need to make it simple. We need to make this punchy and to the point. D2000 isn't the right option. This is going to have to be just a plain flat D100 system. Maybe, though. This is D100 Light. We're going to be looking over this game, actually, a little bit tomorrow. But I need to do a little bit of looking. Did you put me in French again? No, it's in English. No, it's not D100 necessarily. It's just bare bones fantasy. Why is Zweihander in here? Like, I'm honestly like weirded out. Like, why is Zweihander in here? Because this just that uses just a D100. Is it just like? Is it because you just all D100 games are literally like, yeah, D100 games are just all that. It shouldn't be, because this is very much not a D100, necessarily a full-on D100 game. Bare bones fantasy. Let's find some DWC Studio. Bookends. Round dice up accordingly gives them advantage rather than that. Stats for strength, X logic, multiple actions to return, Star Frontier style skills. Star Frontier style. Star Frontiers! Star Frontiers! Haha! Alpha Dawn, current products. Starlaw. Let's see, Reception. Star system showing the map of the frontier sector. Basic rulebook are unexplored and undetailed. Call the referee. Dual hired agent of the Pan Galactic Federation, fighting the aggressive incursion of alien mysterious running like Southwire. Follow these themes. Okay. Okay. All right. No. Okay. Aha. All right, we're going somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We want to do. We'll use the you get over here. Resolution mechanic. Oh God. Resolution mechanic. Get over here. So, what's our resolution mechanic going to look like? Well, obviously we're going to have a D100 here, but our D100 is going to be a little bit odd. Mostly because we're going to say dubs are going to be important. Dubs equal important. Or we can go real poggers. Do we go further beyond? Let's ask the boys. Do we ask? Okay. Okay, let's ask the boys. What do we believe? Do we go further beyond? Okay, we got a course. Okay, let's see. All right, boys. We're doing it. Because the thing is, right now we're dealing with a big thing being size. However, trip's important. What we can do, I want to know, is this a thing? This gotta be a thing. I know this has to be a thing. The 1000 system. Is there a system that literally does a D1000? Like, is this a thing? 3D10 assembly. Choose which one is a success. War hamster. What the fuck is war hamster? Oh god, it's... Hello, John Wick. You crazy bastard, you. No. Let's see. Riff on Warhammer. Original war hamster of John Wick is believed. Hold-ups like Hackmaster, quite convincing though. It's also fake story around Maze and Minotaur. Greek myths replaced Tolkien. Top rank blackjack success, critical success. 3D10, you have NO and N, basically D100, but just adding another digit. You gotta roll under a stat to succeed, but variation degree. Top rank blackjack. You roll exactly the number given on the stat. Critical success. Okay. Tofu 000 mean 1000 means complete miserable failure. Oh, thank you, man from literally 2007. You've given me what I need. So, in an absolutely cursed reality, this is what we're doing now, because God is dead and I am... Because there is no God here, there's only me. There's only Zool. So let's think about this. I've got 3 dice. Let's say we have a stat ranging from... Well, we can say like a stat ranging from like 5... Well, if we do a stat ranging from like 1 to 10. And our goal is to roll under that. So our basic roll is going to be rolling 3d10 and saying, okay, I got 6, 8, 7. I need to roll under. I need to roll under my attribute. I would have failed here. Exactly number given by the stat. However, maybe we can emphasize the blackjack nature of things. So maybe we're gonna do a D100 system, but we can do something like this. Keep the skills relatively simple. So our basic idea is that we are going further beyond in our effort to get dubs. Our goal is to hit dubs. We want to get dubs, trips, it doesn't matter. That's what we're ultimately aiming for. My god, it's going to be fucking Witch Quest. Oh lord, it's Witch Quest. I'm making Witch Quest. God damn it. But we can do this. We can work with this. Okay, so let's see. Maybe our basic resolution is going to be like blackjack. We're going to have blackjack success, which is the idea of let's say we have a TN of 5, TN of 5, And overall, our success is going to be dictated by rolling 3d10 and trying to get as close to that as possible to determine our initial success. So, I rolled 1, 1, 1, 8. I got 3. I'm 3 off. I'm fucked. Or... So our basic idea of this system is going to be using 3d10 for majority of things. So our basic skill checks are going to be 1d100. We're going to be a d100 roll on, going to be d100 roll under. Actually, we can do power armor skill checks. It's going to be 1d100, that roll under. With the idea being that our attribute roll, I want to get, what am I looking for here? If we use this, no 3d10, you have no, you gotta roll under stats to succeed. Roll under a stat to succeed, but there are various degrees of success and failure. So we're gonna have our base stats. So our base stats. So it's going to be something like roll. It's going to be basic, like roll under base stat, roll under base stat. Pair success. Well, triplet of the same digit and success. So you just hit the exact same, hit the attribute dead on. Flash success, series of digits ascending in descending order. So effectively, roll under base now. So let's say we have a D. Let's say we have an attribute of 5. That's what we have. Attribute of 5. We're going to be rolling 3d10. We're going to be rolling 3d10 for our options. So we're going to take 3d10, and our idea, let's say we have to make a strength check or something. We're going to roll 3d10, and our goal is to get as many. We're going to try to get under it. So we got a 4, 3, and a 9. Technically, we have cycle. Actually, what we can do there. What do we want to do? So maybe no. We do D100. So if we do D1000, that's the absolutely cursed reality. And we just do literally a roll under D1000. So you have a range of 1, which is 0, 0. It'd be 0, 0, 1. Which is the absolute cursed reality. Which literally you'd have a range of over 1,000 fucking options. Jesus fucking Christ. You'd have over 1,000 options. 1,000 range, and... See, that's the absolute nightmare quality. But maybe we should do... Maybe play this up with the idea that you're rolling... You're always going to be rolling under. Try to roll under your attribute. I rolled an 18 there. I have, let's say, instead of a... So, okay. Let's break it down. Our basic ideas. Option 1 is here. Now, option A is this. You roll. So, let's say you have an attribute of 5. You need to roll... Try to get under it. And the goal is to hit dubs under it. However, I rolled 3 9s. I rolled 3 9s. I'm above my attribute. I score a critical fuck up. Like, holy fuck up. But I roll again, and let's see, I get a 3, 6, 4. So I got 2 successes. I'm good. Rolled under, and then actually like 3d10 blackjack. Blackjack successes. So if you have a 5, for example, so let's say attribute of 5, we roll. I got a 3 there, 6 there, and an 8. I would succeed, but I would have 2 degrees away. So it wouldn't be like a critical, super awesome, mega success. It's kind of a fuck-up success. But if I didn't have that 3, I'd have a minor failure because I'm only 1 degree away from failure. You want to hit, you know, you want to roll 3d10. Roll 3d10 successes. Roll under. Roll under attributes. Blackjack. Blackjack successes. Option 2. So if you go like, so option B would be with an attribute of say 50. We need to roll 1d100. We roll 1d100. Roll under. Roll third dice. And take high. You know, take high. Take low. Take low. Take mid, or something like that. With the idea saying, all right, so you have your 2 regular dice, and then you have like your fuck off dice or something. On a standard check, you're gonna roll, and you're just gonna say, all right. We're just going to take our basic ones. I rolled a 10 and a 4. I rolled 40. 40%. I can look at my other die. It's like, okay. I can sub out, like... Actually, I don't want to sub out anything because I rolled a fucking 9 on it. So it's like, okay, that's it. Allow you to have a little bit of freeway, a little bit of leeway on the other die. Catch is that if you have disadvantage on something, it's like, okay, take your lowest one, in which case would be a 4. Actually, it would be like, okay, take one of your dice and replace it with that. So instead of rolling a 40, I rolled a 49. Could be a failure. See, on a crippling success, you know, kind of a cripple, like, good news bears would be saying, take the lowest. So I would say, all right, I got a 4-0, I got a 40 right here, I got a 9, I'm not going to use that 9. Where do you use? Where? So maybe under the idea that like the third dice is kind of a free die. This third die is a freewheeler. Actually, it's kind of, you know, it's a wild card, which we can. So that's where the D100 0 comes in. So you roll 3 dice. I say, oh no, I got a 92. That's really bad. I can be like, well, no, I can replace that 9 with a 1. So I got a 12 now. Ta-da, because I'm really good at what I do. Actually, that could... like, advantage gives you... It's pretty much like an advantage mechanic right off the bat, unless we do, like, take the worst option. So, because I rolled a 92, this would be the worst option. So you can say, take the best option, take what is rolled, take the atrocity option. So it would be like, this would be the worst possible. It's like a 9, 2, and 1. So I rolled a 92. I can say, all right, I'm going to replace one of my main dice with my third one. I'm like, okay, good news. If I did well, I can say, okay, I'm going to take that 9, put it off to the side, and replace it with a 1. I rolled a 12 now. However, if I want, I can say, okay, I'm going to replace you have to replace your lowest die. You have to take the worst result of the 3. Okay. Wild card. Or we just make that a... So yeah, D100, roll under, roll third die to crit. Crit or double crit. If we do that, it'd be the idea that you roll. I rolled a 8. I rolled a 38. But I also got a 3 in here, so technically I rolled a crit if I succeeded. The idea that I rolled 2 of a single die, cool. But if I roll to roll a 3 on here as well, I rolled 3 on here as well, I got pretty much a full line. Then we also have the cursed option C. Option C, which is attribute 500 and roll just 1d1000. 1000, roll under, which is just that. Just roll under 1d1000 with your stat. So generating your stats would be fucking horrifying to even think about. But it would be, if I have a attribute of 500, I would roll. I got a... I need a 1s d10. Do I have a 1s d10 in here? No, I have only fucking... I have an entire case of d10s over this dice over there, but I'm too lazy to get them, so I'm using my nice dice. So our basic roll, if I have an attribute of 500, I would roll. And I got a 6, 9, 9. Cool. I rolled 699. That would be what I would roll. That would be bad. Hmm. $9.39, but maybe you can also do like swap out the ones around each other, so it's 993 or 939. Options. I'm leaning toward option B. Fuck it, let's do option B. Let's try something new. I haven't seen it before, so we may as well say fuck it and try something entirely new. And technically, doesn't mean that we're not going to lose that 1d1000 either. So, since we still have that 1d1000, we can still play with things. We'll roll 1d100, roll under, roll third die to crit or double crit. Maybe like critical is just dubs, while a super crit is trips. And then actually, no, I know what we can do. We can do certain weapons. Weapons may do D5, D10, 2D10. No, actually, it'd be XD10, XD100, D100 or D1000, because we have that dice, we can do some weird wacky shit with it. If I can actually... So this is what we're doing. And that would also allow us give us a unique advantage. So what we can do is advantage would be effectively, instead of just giving like a plus 20 or plus 30, you can also say you're skilled in this idea, so you can replace the wild die with the the ones or tens. Actually replace a die with wild die. Pretty much this gives you advantage. However, disadvantage, no wild die. Or place best die with the wild die result. So taking my dice again out. So let's see, give me my dice already, god damn it. So we got my 3 dice. I have advantage. I need to roll under 50. So with advantage, actually a normal die would be I roll my 3. I ended up with 0 and 6, so I rolled a 6, and I also got 0 on my other die. I would score a crit. Good things happened. I score a crit because I got dubs. Now, I have advantage now. I roll. I have a 10 and I have a 5. I have... Come on, don't roll. I got another crit. Okay. I got 10s again. Maybe I could... Actually, no, I would just still score a fucking crit. Yeah, I didn't really get any good things to replace it with because I scored like directly what I needed. So let's roll again. Okay, I got a 7. I got a 7 and a 7. So I would have scored. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to get a crit fail. I can replace that with a 5. I rolled a 57. That might be right under my attribute and might not be. Good news, we might have succeeded. We might have not. Disadvantage. We roll our dice. I got a 10. I got a 10. I got a 3. I have to set my 10 guy, and now I rolled a 30. I still succeeded. However, I didn't, succeed as well, or something like that. Potentially, that could spell failure for you. That doesn't seem very good, unless we just say you just don't roll the wild die. So it's kind of like you don't get the option to even potentially, triple crit. I think that would be the best. I think that's the best option. It's flawless? No. We need just a small amount of stats. So pilot stats. So this is just what your pilot is like. This is who they operate as. This is what they're doing. You're going to be rolling this when you're outside, but you don't really need to worry that much about things like strength as much. Actually, no, Think ahead, notepad. Think ahead. No, we want to do something pretty simple. We want to do body. Body, which is going to be pretty much, physical endurance, and health. We're going to want to do coordination, which is pretty much going to be our dexterity. Oh, what would be another good one? Perception would probably... So I could change up the insight, which insight would be our perception / intelligence. And then we could probably do, like, half of me wants to put in a charisma attribute, but a charisma attribute that actually means something. Oh, I know. Guts. Guts is going to be our charisma plus our, it's going to be charisma plus bullshit. Or bullshit jai. So that's what the pilot's going to be composed of. And if we do this correctly, attribute generation is attribute is like 30 plus 2d10. Or we can do attribute generation 30 plus 3d10 for a maximum of 60. Actually, let's do 3d10. Let's do 3d10, 4d10. 30 plus, let's see, 30 plus 40, 10. So let's just make what a basic character might look like in this system. Actually, no. It's dice roller. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we need to do this. So let's do test exampleton. Test exampleton was he's going to have his body, coordination, insight, and guts. So, first roll of his first thing is he's going to have 50 in his body. All right, good start, good start. Second one, he's going to have 41 in his coordination. Not great. Third one, he's going to have 49 in his insight. 23, he's going to have 53 in his gut. So this is what a base test exampleton is going to look like. This is what his stats look like, giving us a good idea of what that actually means. And we can just give them that. So, skills. What? So maybe like maybe put in like some basic like pilot skill system from D100 Light. Because this game actually is very interesting. So it's like, let's go to Bare Bones Fantasy. Fantasy character sheet. It's doing what I think it's going to be doing. Yes, okay, it is. Because this is all the skill system is in these games. In the Bare Bones Fantasy games, like you only have very little skills. Like, because you don't need that many skills, because that's not the point. Like, that's not really, again, it's bare bones. If we use maybe, okay, so expanded. Okay. You know, kind of like a pilot system there, and like our pilot pilot skills, I don't need that many pilot skills, but we can probably, like, at most we're going like, let's have like a max, mind you, like max of about, let's say, 10 skills. And, you know, very broad. I can come up with those on the fly. Those shouldn't be too difficult. Just like things that you would want to be as what you're going to be doing, which is going to be effectively a power armor pilot dumping into enemy territory to steal shit. You are a raider. Okay. Alright. So you can crit, so you can do that. Which put you right over here. Which is going to be D1, which is going to be triple, you know, triple crit is just going to be called a, it's going to be called an ace. A triple crit fail. Fail is going to be tofu, total, just because I enjoy this name, a total overkill fuck up. I thank you, 2007 RPG Net. Let's see, did you actually end up making it so I can steal it? No. Nothing. He hasn't posted anything since 2011. What a shame. It's because I can't steal his fucking system anymore. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Combat is going to be... Is everything okay out there? I never know. Every now and again, someone just honks their horn in my parking lot, and I get a little bit worried. Like, is someone getting robbed out there? Wouldn't be the first time. So, combat actions are going to be that, which does remind me we're going to need grids. Grid is going to be needed. But actually, is grid going to be needed? Because maybe we can pull off some Necronica bullshit. That is a distinct chance that we can pull off some Necronica bullshit with this. So, put you off to the side a little bit. So our power armor attributes. We hop in our power armor. What is that going to actually look like? We've got this. This is what our pilot is. But when we hop inside our armor, power armor, I think this power armor is going to have set attributes. Set attributes to pilots. To pilots' variable attributes. With the idea being that your power armor can be tweaked by you, but you can't, like, you're rolling for your stats, but like a power armor you buy right off the shelf isn't going to be like, you can't just like say, oh, well, my power armor is more randomly better. No, these are going to be like manufactured, and you have to start tweaking them the way you want. Well, maybe, okay. Let's just think of like vehicle attributes. Vehicle attributes, TRPG. Maybe there's something. Is there something I can work with here? Vehicles TRPG. Is there something I can work with? Is there actually just a fucking power armor game I can steal? Wait a second, I know what I can consult. I know what I'm doing. We go here, we go to Chrome Strike, my beloved. Welcome back, Clarice. So, that allows me to do a little bit of looking around. I want to go to 24. Okay, so our basic power armor set attributes, we can do strength. These are just ideas. Strength, speed, control. Strength, speed, control, which is going to be... So let's actually double check. Mech attributes. Okay, so we want to do strength, STR, attack rating. Back up. Let's see. So strength. Push. Operating time. Maybe is there something else we can work with? Come on, baby. Give me what I'm looking at. Mechton Zeta. Is there something with Mechton we can work with? Come on, baby. oh my darling, give me what I need. Don't care. Do not give a shit. Okay, there we go. Frame servos. Let's do, maybe we can work with like adding spaces, weights. Mecha combat skills. Sensors, movement, armaments. Okay. So this is what a basic mech ton, so advanced mech ton rapier would look like. Need a third one. Need a fourth attribute to round things out. That's what I would need, is just a nice fourth one to round it out very nicely. Payload, darling, do you have something I can work with? Into these complications of science, skills, and attributes. Mechton, my beloved. No. Welcome to game design, everybody. This is just me pondering shit. This is me pondering my goddamn orb. Because that is what 75% of game design is you pondering what might work, maybe, perhaps. Because I don't want to put things like sensors on there, because that's not really like... I guess actually... If I wanted to sell shit, if I wanted to sell a goddamn suit of power armor to somebody, what would I want to put on it? I would want to tell you all about the strength. I'd want to tell you all about the speed. I want to tell you about the control of it. Being like, this baby can lift a bunch too fucking heavy. This thing can go super fucking fast. This thing handles like a fucking, like, butter. Well, what else would I want to do? Not armor. Armor is going to be something. It's going to be a defined attribute. That's just one thing about it. Just like, maybe we can actually... Sensors wouldn't be terrible. Just kind of like the internal sensors of it. So maybe sensors wouldn't be the worst option. What else would I want to... What would I want to... If I was a person to use car salesman of power armor, what would I... Because I can see it in my head. You're trying to buy budget fucking power armor. What would you want to put on it? What would you be... What would they be hawking off on it? Handling its control, how fast it can go, what its speed, how strong the damn thing is. Guess sensors would be the only other one. Unless we put something like internals. Oh, I know what we can do. What would be mainframe? Pretty much your ability to actually just add shit to it. Its ability just to trigger certain things and keep going. No, okay, no. We can call it internals. Internals. So strength. So strength is just how strong the PA is, how fast the PA is, how fine-tuned the PA is, and the exterior factors of the PA. Actually, the internal system. The internal systems of the PA. What would you make a strength check for? I want to shove something aside with my giant fuck off mech. Cool, this is what you're doing. Like, hey, I want to go fast. Okay, I roll speed to control it. Oh, how I want to do things. I want to roll control. Once we just change this to combat ability. Yeah, combat ability. I know we can do that. And we can do combat ability, engine, control, internals. Which reminds me, StarCraft power armor. CMC powered. Successive model, widespread use, turn fuck. Thunderstrike armor. Seal self tourniquet, immunity of a small arm fighter. Heat away from the body. Yeah, this is literally what I'm basing these armors off. It would be more effectively like this. Like, this is what you're gonna be rolling in. Fucking Blaze's armor. Armored infantry suit. Man-sized bipedal tank. Feature Maxim. StarCraft Beta. Wings of Liberty. Okay. Because combat ability would justify how able you are to shoot and do things like that. It's your ability to snap into action when need be. And then power armor attributes. Attributes are defined, but can be tweaked. So the idea is like, what do you roll if I want to make a combat check to actually... So you're also being able to use both of this. So if you're making actual, like, legit combat, you're doing stuff in your power suit. If you're doing it off, you use your body. Coordination, though, is your ability to actually... Actually, that reminds me... Maybe do, like, a dual check? What would the dual check look like? Dual checks. Dual checks are rolled at the same time, trying to hit under both the attributes of the suit / pilot. Which is to say, you can technically try to succeed at something where you may not be able to see your internals. Something in your internals might ding off. Or during a fight, Actually, like, during a fight, if you want to pull off a maneuver, it might be combat ability plus, coordination. Or, you want to absolute boost, it might be engine versus body. That's a weird way of doing it. Fuck it. I'm gonna have to look at that. I need to double check that. I don't know if there's a good answer for that one right there, to be honest. But if we use this as our basic set of attributes, just basics, bare bones attributes, we're going to go pretty good. So let's just make a bullshit piece of armor. Let's make, for example, we want to make CPAP. Actually, no, we'll make a gear. We'll make a, what did I end up calling it? Rig suit. Rigs, a remote intelligence guided suit. Actually, what I should say is a pigs. It's a pilot intelligence guided suit, and we will have our basic stats of combat ability, engine, control, internals. Our combat ability, because we don't want it to be, let's say each of these are going to have a total of 4 let's see, 4, we want an average of, let's say, if we have an average of, say, 50. Actually, what would be the average of 4d10? Let's see, 4d10, actually, any dice, where's any? Anydice.com, where are you, my beloved? Output 4d10. What's the average of 4d10? Our average 4d10 is going to be 22. So if we go here, our average attribute is going to be about 50, so we want about 200 spread between them. So let's say our combat ability on here is going to be 70. Our engine's going to be 30. Doesn't go actually that fast, but doesn't really need to go. And our controls are going to be 50, and our internals are going to be 50. There we go. That's what a basic suit's going to look like. Of course, we can tweak and we can edit this, and okay, so now by tweaking and editing, we can do things like increase this by 72, or like do other things with it. Generally, the idea being that we want to edit and we want to change things. How intelligence guided suit. So what is our guns gonna look like? What's our guns gonna look like? Some guns are going to be guns. Actually, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have modules. Modules are going to be parts included, parts on the suit, parts on the PA to edit attributes, and give bonuses. So we could say we have a module on here which is our boost module, which is minus 10 to our controls, but we gain boost action. So with this, technically our abilities look like that. Because we have the boost module, we can't control our thing as well, but we can boost in the middle of combat. So that's what modules do. What do weapons look like? So a weapon going to be measured. We can actually probably see, if I wanted to, we can just do MDCs, mega damage, MDs. We can do we can probably do like raw damage. No, measured in DPs, destructive potential. Destructive potential. Weapon is going to be measured in DPs. Reflect how dangerous they are. And then we're going to have each weapon. So weapons can be assigned to either to any, let's say a hard point. Weapons can be assigned to any hard point, but some require two hands to operate. Some require two hands to operate, and like weapons are scarce in ammo. Sparse in ammo because you can't really reload because you're in a giant fucking tank suit. Weapons are sparse in ammo with minimal reloading potential. So like a basic gun, like we could say our weapons on this thing, and like a very basic pigs would be like an autocannon that's measured in like 2d10 DPs. 2d10 DPs, fire rate 5, because you fire rate 5 with fire rate 5 with like, let's say like 120, like 200 ammo. Let's say like 150 ammo. However, if at that fire rate of 5, we might be hemorrhaging through this ammunition pretty quickly. We're not getting any more. Or maybe it's like combat knife, 1d5 DPs, which, but it's melee. So you have to be up front to do it. Something like that. Reminds me, we're going to need to do for our pig's armor, for our power armor, we're also going to need some like base attributes. Like base quirks. I don't know how to fucking what to call them. Like we can assign hard points, module space. Let's see, hard points, module space. Storage space. That's going to be a storage space. And battery. Maybe something like that. With the idea being that, like, oh, our pigs here, we might have, like, we can fit in 3 modules. We have a storage space of, 3 storage space. And our battery is, like, 10. And then we have 10 battery. Something like that. I don't know. I'm kind of... This is what we're going to be editing. This is where the main game is going to be. It's going to be doing modules. It's going to be tweaking weapons. It's going to be fighting the good fight while raiding around. Let's see. Potentially a company system. Potentially a company system to encourage role play slash acquisitions. Maybe spiral off on that with make it double down on the mercenary idea. Double down on the mercenary concept. Maybe a contracts table. Oh yeah, that reminds me, we're gonna have to. I don't know how I want to word this. Hull points. I guess we'll just call it hull for now. But it might be like seven. Let's say we have 75 hull. That is our base health. If that breaks down, we're going to die. We will just die, and no one will be happy because we will be dead. Okay, okay. But enemies, there's going to be a lot of enemies, which if I swing back over here, maybe make the idea that hordes are going to, quote, flow and need to be cut down. Need to be cut down. They have a large amount of health per, kind of per horde. The idea would be to mitigate the horde's location, horde location, as well as keep them at a distance. And then we have to do functional enemies. Functional enemies are going to need to have are going to be smarter than the horde, but employing anti-PA tactics if they can. But it's the idea of we're gonna and a single enemy is gonna die. Actually, I should put single enemy, a living person, so a living entity, a standard living entity can take 1 DP of damage. Or more accurately, half a DP, because DP is also your destructive potential. It's you ripping through someone. They will fucking die if they do not have the proper amount of health. You are going to get ripped. But if there's other people doing it, they're going to have the same things that you are, and they're going to be moving around. They want to do, and if we're doing the damage the way I'm thinking of, it's you have 75, but you roll 2d10 for your... you roll 2d10 for your damage, and it's alright, someone, pops out from the back, they boost on top of you, they're going to roll to actually hit. Let's see, they have okay, let's just do a pigs versus pigs fight. So they have a combat ability of 70, and let's say fire rate, okay, yeah, no, I know how to do this, so we roll, and they, come on, roll well already, please. There we go. They hit. There you go. So they hit. They're going to roll 2d10. Let's see how much damage they do. And they're going to do 25 damage to you. Actually, no, they're going to do 7 damage to you, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's 7 damage you aren't getting back anytime soon. And it's about wear and tear, which is going to be the big idea, which... wear and tear combat. Maybe a savior mechanic, which is pilots who do well get bennies, I guess. Actually, no, get fate. Actually, what would be a good way? What would be a good meta currency name in a game like this? Pilots who do well get drive. Who do well, you get drive, allowing you to push through or score more kills. Dying is easy though. So the idea that you can make a character pretty quickly. Because actually making a character is not going to be too long. The main thing, what it's going to be though, and what you want to kind of worry about, is making sure those characters that you invest time in have their power armor. But if the power armor survives and a character gets shot, you can give them their power armor to somebody else. But maybe you don't want to do that. What I should say is no save. Actually, yeah, drive is going to be pretty valuable. And I'm probably going to do something like tie it to this. Tie it to this and this. With the idea that if you complete optional objectives, if you're going around and doing kind of more impressive jobs, you're going to get more drive. The more drive, the better you're doing. The better you're doing, the more you're going to survive. The more you survive, the more you can thrive. The more you're likely you're going to explode. Okay, so not really happy with that aspect, but I can see what I can find. Okay, so I have a good idea of what I want to do. So my big things that I'm not entirely sure on. This and the dual check system. I know there is an option here. There are things here that make sense, but I don't understand them. I don't quite know how I want to do that. Like, I have some ideas here of what like major basic combat enemies are going to look like, but differentiating them is going to be the hard part. Let's see, power armor can be defined, but can be tweaked. Hull points. And I know I'm going to have to probably put in the base book, like in the absolute base, I'm going to have to put in probably about like 10 base, 10 base PAs. Because you're going to be editing them, you're going to be adopting your own tricks, and so actually we can put this right up here. Tricks, half of me wants to define those to make them like, this is something that you can do. The other half of me says, no, I don't want to do that. And it's things that you can pull off by virtue of being able to pull them off because you're the best at what you do. This is going to be the hard bit. Getting this right. But I might, ironically enough, I might actually reference a little bit of MAS, a little bit of Mercenary Air Squadron. Kind of pull down the idea that as a mercenary, when you go on deployment, once you are in the fight, once you are in the heat of things, you're not really going to be able to like have time to do anything else. So like you may be able to get a little bit of wear and tear, but if you take a shit ton of damage, there's a good chance you're going to be taking you're not going to get much of it back between deployments. Okay. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Is it going to be perfect? No. No, it's not going to be perfect. Of course not. But I can sure as hell pretend it's going to be. Alright, I'm feeling good. So, alright. So the plan is simple. Next Monday, we're going to start on this. I'll have a name by then. And that name is going to be cool. And it's going to be Neato Burrito, and everyone's going to like it. They won't. And I have a few ideas for it. Now, that idea is going to be able to give us at least something to work with in terms of lore, and as well as basing it off of our various power armors and things like that. It'll allow me to have a little bit of fun. I might just do that over the weekend. I might literally just sit down and just over the entire weekend just do everything related to it. And hammer out all the lore and all the basic shit like that. And once that's all done, the system should come together. It's the parts I'm not like terribly. It's a lot of interactions that I'm not confident about, and it's a lot of those interactions kind of playing off one another that I'm like, okay, what's gonna work here? What's not gonna work here? So Yeah, so thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you all tomorrow, actually, for the Curious Case of Wuxia games. I'm actually pretty excited for that one. Got a lot of good games that we're going to be looking at. So, thank you all. Godspeed, good luck, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Ah.